وفي مقابلة خاصة للتلفزيون الأردني أكدت المديرة التنفيذية لصندوق النقد الدولي كريستين لاغارد على أن الصندوق ماض بدعم الأردن بالمساعدات التقنية في جميع المجالات كالسياسات الرقابية والإحصاءات والشؤون المالية.
I have the privilege today to be with the first woman as the head of the International Monetary Fund in its 6 decades history. Madame Christine Lagarde, thank you for joining us today.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Let me ask you first, the IMF doesn't interfere in the countries unless the financial crisis occurred. What about prevention to protect these states which are suffering the structural, financial and economic problems?
You know, we also do lots of other things. We offer policy advice, and we actually conduct annually an internal audit of the economy of every member at the IMF. 188 countries go through the process and find it quite helpful. The second thing that we do, which is growing very fast, faster than all the other activities we have, is technical assistance. We provide technical assistance to many members, 155 of them at the moment. And in this region, we have offered 60 different missions of technical assistance. We've provided Jordan with technical assistance in the field of monetary policy, statistics, fiscal affairs. So it's a very active line of our activity.
Women participation in economic activities is low compared with other countries. What are the solutions the IMF can propose, and what can programs implement to increase women participation in Arab countries, particularly the non-petroleum, which are suffering the weak inclusive growth?
There are several countries that suffer from very low women participation in the economy. Jordan suffers from particularly low participation. To give you an example, the unemployment rate of women is double that of men. And the participation of women is more than half that of men. Now, one could argue lots of things. But there's one argument that applies without any doubt, and that is that women's contribution to the economy could improve growth and could improve the state of the economy. There are multiple ways to help and support women and encourage them to join the job market. It begins with childcare centers to help them with making sure that the children are properly looked after while they go to work. It continues with the right tax schemes where the second salary in the family is not taxed at the highest marginal rate. And there are lots of social measures that can be put in place to encourage women to join the job market. There are many other countries in that situation. We have recently produced a study concerning Japan, for instance, and it's clear that women's contribution to the economy means more and better growth.
The Syrian crisis is about to reach its 4th year, and refugees still flocking to the kingdom. And also external pressure is affecting the Jordanian economy. What the IMF and donors can do to help Jordan to overcome the aftermaths of this crisis?
You know, when you mention this issue, I cannot help thinking first and foremost about the very, very sad situation of the refugees. I visited a camp this morning, and it's really heartbreaking when you see their situation. At the same time, Jordan or Lebanon or Iraq are producing a huge effort to help, to integrate, to show solidarity, to demonstrate the traditional hospitality. So in the face of that, what the IMF can do is bring its voice to remind the international community, the bilateral donors, that support is needed, not just for Jordan, not just for Syrian refugees, but for the stability in this part of the world. And we can also add to that sufficient flexibility to the countries that we support, so that we take into account the additional burden on their public finance as a result of, more teachers, more electricity, more water, food made available, and additional public services made available to the refugees.
The SBA with Jordan will complete 2 years next August. Do you think Jordan accomplished the target of the program, mainly reduces the budget deficit and controlling the public debt?
The main purpose of the program is to rejuvenate the Jordan economy and make sure that the debt is sustainable and does not continue to grow to the point where the currency would be exposed and to the point where investors would be reluctant to finance the country. The program will end in August 2015, and really the Jordanian people and the Jordanian authorities have taken ownership of the objectives of the program, have done an extraordinary job in handling some of the issues concerning use of public finance. Where is money well spent? How can we reduce the deficit going forward? How can the debt go down ultimately? So huge work has been done. There is more to be done. There has to be a continuation of the discipline demonstrated by the people and the authorities. And we have great hope that this will be the case.
What is the main result you're expected from the conference hosting in Amman? And do you expect increasing in FDI in the region, particularly Jordan?
I think it's a twofold objective. One is of a regional nature. We, together with the Jordanian authorities and the Arab Development Fund, co-hosting the conference, we want all the finance ministers, governors of central banks, academics, think tanks, people who really focus on these issues. They have to compare notes. They have to share best practices. They have to figure out what will work to stimulate growth and to create jobs. Those are the key objectives. Stimulate growth, create jobs for them. But a new model has to be invented, and that's what they are talking about, and hopefully will participate in reinventing. I think the second objective of the conference is also to expose all of them to what Jordan is facing, what hardship it is going through. It's not the only one. Lebanon is also facing a very, very tough situation. Iraq is also hosting lots of refugees. I think everybody has to be made aware of what it takes, what effort, what funding is needed. And, that's a better awareness for a better support going forward.
Madame Christine Lagarde, thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you so much indeed.
Thank you very much. Good luck.